I'm not gonna be on here all night with y'all today. I know I say that every time, but I'm seriously not gonna be on here with y'all all night. I got a coaching call that will happen in a very short period of time. So I wanted to jump on because I'm always having these conversations with people. So I'm jumping on for a couple reasons. One, because I just came back from Philly yesterday. I feel like it was yesterday. My time is really, it could have been 2 days ago, but I think it was yesterday. So I wanted to jump on and just share my thoughts about my trip to Philly. But most importantly, I really wanted to talk about this need for business plans. Why? Because a couple things. So I talk to entrepreneurs all the time, particularly coaches, consultants, somebody who's in the expert space. If you watch any of my lives, you know that that's my demographic, right? I don't focus on product-based businesses or service-based businesses. Not that I can't, but that's not my lane, right? And so every time I jump on, know that I'm talking directly to coaches, consultants, experts. Let's get that out the way. And so what I find with that demographic in particular, and those people who are really transitioning from, a traditional 9 to 5 to some kind of online coach, right? Some kind of consultant where they're leveraging the online space to be able to build their brand. That's who I'm specifically talking to, because I see this ongoing cycle of people being frustrated. Listen, there's a lot going on over here. People being frustrated with the results that they're getting in their business. So some of those results are inconsistent revenue. Some of it is just emotional roller coaster and being frustrated, not having any peace, having to start and stop. Like, the results are all over the place, but at the end of the day, I see a lot of frustration about why people aren't getting the results that they desire. And here's what I want to jump on and say. Like, I know that the traditional business plan model is dead. Let's be very clear. There's no reason to have a 20-page document that you design that, because originally many people use business plans in order to get funding, right? And now we're in the era where people are mostly bootstrapping their business, meaning they're using their own funds, whether it's savings, whether it's money from their 9 to 5, like whatever it is, it's their own money. They're not searching for loans nearly as often as they were back in the day. Why? Because it's cheaper to start a business now, right? Prior to the online age, people were building a lot of brick and mortars. Well, guess what? Building a brick and mortar costs a lot more money. You can't start a brick and mortar for $2,000, $5,000. I mean, occasionally, but mostly it's more expensive. And so because we're building less brick and mortars does not mean, I see people not having any kind of plan. Like, here's the thing about business. There are a lot of choices. There are a lot of options. There's lots of different ways to market. There's lots of different people that you could serve. There's lots of different products and services that you could offer. And if you don't streamline what you're doing, if you don't simplify, that's the key word, what you're doing, you're just going to go in this hamster wheel and be frustrated with the results that you're getting in your business. So no, you don't need the old time business plan. I agree with that, because many of those plans people don't even look at. They spend all this time to build them out, and then they don't actually use them again. But you do need a plan, right? We're talking about the 2020 version of a business plan, specifically for online coaches, right? People who are leveraging the online space to be able to gain clients. That's who I'm speaking to. Guess what a business plan does? Number one, it gives you clarity. And clarity gives you confidence, right? When I know exactly what it is that I'm supposed to do, when I'm supposed to do it, I walk a little different, right? There's no frustration. There's no hamster wheels. There's none of that. So I want us to get in. Number one, I just want to stress the importance of, you need a plan. And so we need a different version, some different language maybe, because people don't really call it business plans. But I see too many people operating in the online space with no plan at all. When I talk to them about what's your marketing strategy, they say things like Facebook Lives. And I'm like, bro, that's not a marketing strategy. right? That's one thing that you can do to nurture your audience, to gain some visibility. But Facebook Lives is not a strong enough marketing strategy, especially if you're under some kind of time frame, meaning I want to build my audience quicker. You're definitely not going to be able to do that with Facebook Lives. And if you had a business plan, you would understand, here are the 15 different options that I have to market. Here are the 2 or 3 that I'm going to focus on. When you can't answer simple questions like, what's your ascension plan? Or what's your marketing strategy over the next 90 days? Or where do you generate predominant all of your leads? How many leads do you get a month? How many leads do you need a month? Like, when you can't answer any of these questions about your business, it's because you don't have a plan to follow. And thus, it creates frustration and overwhelm and stagnation. Okay, I hear you. I see you say you're going to catch the replay. So I want us to get in the habit of, number one, operating from where you are right now, right? Every single one of us has these big, elaborate goals. I literally was on the phone with someone today, okay, because this is almost every day. On the phone with someone today who has a big vision for their business, just like I do, right? Just like you do. But the question becomes, where do I start, right? And when do I add? All these people talking about multiple streams of income, but you ain't mastered one stream of income. Miss me with that. Like, multiple streams of income is a long-term play. That's something that you build into your business model. You build into your business plan. You know exactly when it's time for you to add another stream of income. But too many people don't even understand the basics of what it looks like to be able to build a business online, right? The things that you need to build your business online is different than the old time way, but you still need a damn plan. So learn to operate from where you are. That's number one. Where you are right now, not the lofty goals, not the big vision. Know where you're going. Like, you need to understand your vision, okay? But you can't focus on the $1 million business when you don't have the $2,500 business. Like, you got to start from where you're at. I promise you are doing yourself a disservice if you're focusing on your long-term goal. You need to know the long-term goal, and you need to ensure that all of your steps align with your long-term goal, but you need to focus on mastering the level in which you're at right now. How do you get to a place where you're bringing in a consistent 5K in your business every month? How do you bring in consistent 10K every month? Whatever your number is, based on wherever it is that you're at, master that level. And here, let me tell you this is number 2. This is one of the reasons why people don't do business plans, or they jump on social media and think that is easy because they see other people gaining clients. But you don't really realize, here's the thing. We don't build the business plan because it's not sexy, right? It's not sexy. Systems, sustainability, doing the hard work of building a business plan. I just commented on somebody's post who she said, oh my God, I hate this business plan. It's so tedious. My brain doesn't work that way. And my call tonight is with somebody who I'm getting ready to help them map out their business plan, right? So I get it. She's like, the woman that I'm getting ready to speak to tonight specifically said, I am all over the place. I'm a little frustrated. I don't feel like I have things in order, and my brain does not work like that, because it does take a particular kind of thinking in order to build out a strong business plan. Like, it really does. I happen to love it because I'm like nerd-like. I went to Philly this weekend and went to a conference, and by the end of the conference, I had a 5-page notes. I had things highlighted in sections. I had plastic sheet protectors. Why? Because that's how my brain works. I'm the perfect person to be able to help people with business plans and structuring their business in a way that gives them clarity and peace. Why? Because my brain happens to operate like that. But even if yours doesn't, like, even if your brain does not operate the same way as other people's brain, and you can't sit still for 4 hours and hammer something out, you still got to do the work. The number one reason why you're not meeting your revenue goal is because you're not clear on how you're going to meet your revenue goal. Like, you don't have a marketing plan. You don't have a sales system. Like, all of those things are things that are included in your damn plan. Call it whatever you want. It ain't got to be business plan. Call it whatever it is that you want, but you need one. You need a system, a process, a formula. That's what the word I like. You know, y'all know I love the word formula. You need a formula, a step-by-step plan that is going to allow you to meet your revenue goals, allow you to know exactly what you need to be doing, right? Too often we're spinning our wheels and wasting our time and wasting our money and wasting our energy on things that won't actually yield a return because we don't actually know how to implement them. We don't actually know how to utilize them. And the way that you know what you should be doing for the month of... So when I look at myself, I know exactly what I'm launching in the month of August. I know when I'm doing my lead generation stuff. I know when I'm launching my offer, right? I know what my price point is. Why? Because I have a structure and a plan for my business. Like, you can't just jump out in these online streets and expect to get paid when you have not yet learned how to brand yourself in a way that you stand out and get known. You have not yet learned how to market yourself in a way that you attract who you want to attract. You have not yet learned what sales cycle works for you based on your price point and how to actually convert people. Like, all of that is necessary. Like, this not a game. We out here trying to build empires, and that shit, it does not... Like, how do you plan on building $1 million brand, or a $500,000 brand, or a $250,000 brand? I don't care what kind of, whatever your revenue goals are. You could be trying to get to your first 100K. It doesn't matter what your number is. It requires a plan of some kind. Like, I want to stress that. You need to have a plan that you're operating from. And that's the thing that keeps you from spinning your wheels. That's the thing that gives you so much peace, right? I see a lot of coaches and consultants that struggle with consistency, and they struggle with confidence, and they struggle with all these things that come naturally when you have a plan. Like, when you're operating from a structure. All right, here's my front end offer. Here's how I bring people into me. Here's how I take them up my ascension ladder. Here's my price point. Here's what it costs me to run my business every month. Here's the hashtags that I use. Here's like my ideal client. Here's the problems they have, the values that they have, the desires that they have. Here's what keeps them up at night. Like, literally, all of that goes into your plan. So I'm just encouraging you. Learn to operate from where you are right now. Get the clarity that you need. If you do not have some sort of business plan, you're doing it wrong. There's no way to get the money that you desire. Like, here's the thing. You can bring in money in your business without having a business plan. Like, you literally can. Now, it's going to have some frustration to it. But you can't bring in the kind of money you want to make without a plan. You can't do that. Like, if you want to bring $1,000 here and $2,000 there, and you want to have, 4 figures, you can do that without a plan. I mean, you can stumble on that. But if you're trying to build a sustainable brand, a sustainable business, where I have predictable income that comes in every single month, well, you're not going to be able to do that without some kind of structure and systems into your business. So do the hard work. Stop avoiding the shit that's hard, and develop a system, right? I'm thinking about actually giving out my, I develop a blueprint for myself, and that's also for my clients, that walks them through every single step of mastering this online space. Like, every single, I'm not going to actually give you my own blueprint, let me be very clear, but I will give you the template. Why? Because too many people are out here being willy-nilly with the shit and wondering why they're not meeting their revenue goals. That shit is backwards. Like, if you have a real revenue goal that you're trying to meet, if you have real goals attached to your business, I'm trying to pay off $50,000 worth of loan, I'm trying to retire my mama, I'm trying to, whatever the thing is that you're trying to do, you're going to have to get more serious than what you are. Like, the days of dibbling and dabbling, that's dead. Like, I'm not the coach for you if that's where you at. If you're trying to dibble and dabble, you need to find somebody else. Like, for real, for real. But if you're trying to build legacy, if you're trying to bring in the kind of money where you ain't got to work no 9 to 5, where you have choices, like, that's the goal. The goal is for you to have choices. Today, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. In order for you to get to a place where you have true freedom, like the kind of freedom where if I don't do this, it ain't going to impact my income. Like, that's a real freedom. Like, I'm finna get up and go to Bora Bora next week. I made a post a couple of weeks ago about the fact that I have bosses in my circles, right? Bosses. Why? Because I can pick the phone up. That trip to Philly was unexpected. I didn't plan that trip 3 months in advance. I didn't. There's an opportunity that presented itself. Catch this, because a lot of y'all gonna miss this. There was an opportunity that presented itself, and I took advantage of it. And you need to learn how to do the same. And you can do that when you're operating from a plan, because it brings consistent revenue. So I hope that helps you. I'm out. Peace.